Hey everybody, good to see you on a Sunday night. A little bit different format here. I was planning on doing a little bit of a video. Already had Mike set up over here just for some podcasting. So figured we'd get the nice crisp crystal. Say that 10 times fast. Audio. Uh, so I don't know if it'll make a difference, but I think it might. So wow, crazy couple weeks, hasn't it? It's been nuts. It's been absolutely nuts. A lot of the videos you've been seeing have been kind of in the vault, so to speak. They've been things that I have put in reserve, pre-edited, in the hope that that I don't get caught without a video, because there have been a couple times where that's happened, and I have plenty of stuff to go over. I probably have, I don't know if I have the whole rest of the year, but I have a lot, and I figured it'd be good to get some of this stuff done up ahead of time and edited and just put in a folder, and then pre-uploaded for the release date. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. This past week, or excuse me, yesterday, we put out, I think it was Mountain House beef stroganoff, I believe. Week before was, I think it was the new beef strips and the tomato sauce, USMRE. I believe that's what the week before was. So anyway, a lot of good stuff. Recently, I have a lot more things. I've got some things that you can't quite see here, but so we'll do a little bit of a show and tell on what you can expect to see from the channel going forward. I also want to talk a little bit about current events, and then just a few other general things. So kick back and my tea's still, I think it's a little too hot to sip, but get your favorite beverage, I guess, and we'll chat a little bit. No, not too hot. It's actually cooled down considerably. So anyway, so again, wild couple weeks. This virus going around that 2, 3, 4 weeks ago we were all kind of joking about a little bit, right? State of Ohio had an order put out here earlier today, that it's essentially stay at home. Unless otherwise needed. Essential travel. The stores are still open. A lot of businesses are still able to run. Infrastructural businesses, things like that, are totally going to keep running. I feel like this is basically as far as Ohio is going to be willing to go. At least, I hope. Fortunately, I do have the ability to work from home, which I know not everybody does. I really feel for those people. I was in the food and beverage industry for, darn near a decade, if not the better part of a decade. And, I cooked for a living, and I managed some restaurants and so forth. And it's a struggle sometimes just working that normally. And then having to deal with this is crazy. Your pizza places, your fast food, those things are still going on. A lot of small restaurants are still trying to put out food from a carry-out perspective. I know some places have hired on people to drive, delivery and so forth. Heck, even I think my local comic book store had a delivery service that they're doing within the city. So we are trying to adapt, and I think it's important to continue to try and adapt this situation. Closing down, giving into fear and panic is the worst thing that you can do. And I'm no expert, mind you, but throughout history, we've survived a ton of different things. One of my favorite channels on YouTube is called Townsend's, and this guy does a lot of study into the 1800s, 1700s, how they lived, how they ate. I think recently, it was somewhat recently, maybe within the past 6 months, he made a cabin that he now features in videos. And when you look at that, you start thinking about the history. And he actually brought this up in a recent short video he did. when this country was founded, man, there was starvation, there was sickness that went around, the fight for independence, through the 1800s with the Civil War. There was a lot that the folks who started this country had to go through. And, what we're being asked to do is just stay home. You know what I mean? But it is difficult, and I understand people have lost their jobs, and like I said, I feel for you. If there's anything I could personally do, I would totally do it, but I'm just one guy. But I know that there are a lot of businesses that are definitely trying to put out more help, and there are jobs out there. I mean, here around this area, we have Amazon that is like ramping up hiring. Kroger's is ramping up hiring. Even things like UPS, FedEx are still running, so they need people. I mean, when you're all locked inside, what do a lot of people do? Online shop. So there are definitely jobs out there that are going to need more people. So again, don't despair, don't panic. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. There are things that you can do, and find them. If you're motivated enough, you'll make it happen. I believe that in this country, even in crisis, if you have the motivation, you can do anything you want to do. And I will never be talked out of that. And I know some people will try and have tried. It's not true. You can totally do it. You all can do it. Even if you think it's the worst situation ever, you can turn it around. That's America to me. So, if you have lost your job, take those words and hopefully they encourage you. Things will turn around for us. We will survive this. This is not an extinction event. This will pass. This too shall pass. Interesting story. My grandmother somehow learned to Facebook. She posted a link, or not a link, but see if I can't recall this here. She posted a story. It's funny because she doesn't even have like a profile picture. And I'm not going to read the entire thing, but she kind of, somebody, one of her friends was asking her about, her reaction to this whole sickness here. She flashed back to when she was a student nurse, because she was a nurse for many, many years. And it was her rotation at a children's hospital. And her assignment was in the polio ward. Polio, guys. Polio ward. Iron lungs. Okay? You talk about a horror. March of Dimes. I'm sure at least I hope most of you remember March of Dimes was started by FDR to help fund the cure for this vaccine, which eventually did happen. I don't remember the guy's first name, but it was like Salk, I think was his last name. So let's see here. Giving them paraffin baths, wrapping in warm towels to let the heat penetrate the muscles, and then put the kids back in the iron lungs. Yeah, it's just pretty crazy. The department injecting kids with the polio vaccine with an air pressure gun. Frightened children having to deal with that, and again, a student nurse. Like I guess that's called your clinicals now. I guess for nurses, any of you who are nurses. And basically, she can't compare her experiences then to what we're dealing with now. But, she hopes that we can come up with a better outcome this time than they did then, because, we're talking about, we overcame that, and that was crazy. We've overcome smallpox a couple times. Even Ebola, which is technically still out there in some places, malaria, measles, mumps. it seems like something's after us. But we're resilient. We are a resilient species. We somehow find a way to continue. What God, what is that Jeff Goldblum quote from Jurassic Park? Life finds a way. So, we will survive it. We will be able to rebuild anything that's broken. If our politicians don't stand in our way, we will. But keep the faith, guys. Keep the hope, keep the faith. Stay indoors, wash your hands. Stop buying all the toilet paper. Leave some for the rest of us, okay? And don't flush paper towels or baby wipes. They're not meant to be flushed. I don't care if they say flushable. They're not meant to be flushed. So, words of wisdom. And okay, we'll continue a little bit longer here, but so I might go on for a while. I don't know how long I'll record. But so I was in the store last week. I went in to get some ibuprofen and something else. I wasn't even going in there for anything specific. Normally, non-perishable items, I usually stock those for a few months in advance anyway, but I was running a little low on toilet paper. I think I was down to the last roll of paper towels, which actually lasts quite a while for me. So I did venture around to see what was being bought out. Toilet paper, paper towels, gone. Totally gone. There were still some baby wipes, antibacterial. No, that's not true. Hand sanitizer was gone. Antibacterial soap was still on the shelves. So, okay. Pasta sauce. Jarred pasta sauce was gone. Pasta sauce, kids cereal. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, cereal's for everybody. Whatever. I don't eat much cereal anymore, but yeah, cereal was gone. Water. There was still some water. Mainly, just individual bottled water. There were still jugs, but a lot of those I think were distilled, which you can drink. I just, it's not going to taste as good. Yeah, so there was definitely some things that were more out than others. And then I went to the store or to the grocery store a few days later to get some cheese for something I was making here. And I, again, took a stroll around. Meat was pretty sparse. There was still meat. There was a lot of beef. But, like chicken, pork were pretty much all gone. The frozen food aisle. Oh, my gosh. I couldn't find a chicken nugget anywhere. Or a lean cuisine, or a Hungry Man, or a frozen pizza. They were all gone. I don't really eat that kind of stuff much anyway, although I will sometimes have some chicken nuggets, or chicken strips. I like strips. But, yeah, all that was gone. The reason I laugh, okay, is on this channel for 2 years now, I've been showing you rations, right? With the hope that you watch a video and you say, oh, okay. And if you trust my opinion, hopefully you do. I don't know. I could have been lying to you forever. No, I try and be as honest as possible. But I hope that you take that knowledge and go out to the real world and apply it. But what I see is folks not apply these sort of principles because some of them aren't even looking for them, but that frozen stuff will be fine. When we talk about prepping, we're talking about long-term calamitous type of things. I look at freeze-dried options a lot because they last a long, long time. All you have to do is add water. Meals ready to eat, things that you can just pop in and pop out. I don't necessarily stock the freezer all that much, aside from some meat and stuff. But it's good to have those doomsday options because you never know. It's like we're up here, us crazy preppers, we're all just shaking our hands and be like, we told you. We told you this sort of stuff could happen. Get some stuff in advance. You wouldn't have to panic. And who it's hurting are the older folks. that are going in here and they can't push through the lines, and they can't get there fast enough. And I mean, my God, they're up at 4 a.m. You think they'd be able to get there quicker, but we're taking a lot of this stuff away from people who might need it. You don't need 400 rolls of toilet paper. And if you do, you've got bowel problems. See a doctor if they'll admit you. So I don't know, man. It's just crazy, and I worry. I worry about, the older folks. I worry about, folks with babies who actually use baby wipes. Who need certain things for their kids that are just being bought out because people aren't well prepared. One thing I was talking about with my mom, okay, who is actually one of the more prepared people I know. She knows what to do in a crisis, okay? I think if she really wanted to, she could sustain for quite a while. But we were talking about it, and it's like, how many people do you think actually know how to use how to make bread? It doesn't have to be like, leavened bread. How many people know how to make unleavened bread, like a flatbread or a soda bread or a muffin? I don't know. I'm not a great baker, but I know how to do all those things. I also have a bread machine. I've had that for years. And I don't eat a whole ton of bread, but I always keep bread flour and all-purpose flour. I have yeast in the freezer. I have all my ingredients because you never know, right? But how many people actually know how to make, say, just a flatbread? They're buying all the bread. I see a lot of flour and a lot of sugar being bought. I don't use refined sugar anymore. Call me a hipster or some weirdo, but I buy, unrefined sugar. I don't use much sugar, even in like the tea I'm drinking right here, or if I make coffee, I don't put sugar in those things anymore. I don't need it. I drink very little soda. And if I do, it's like the Mexican Coke bottles. I like those because they taste like real Coke. But it's funny. It's like, what are you going to do with all that sugar? Make sugar cake or something? I don't know. It's crazy. But again, like, there are folks that actually do use that stuff on a daily, weekly basis that aren't necessarily able to get it because everybody's just going nuts. My brother was out. I think he was the one who was telling me the story. But anyway, if it wasn't him, my bad. But anyway, somebody was telling me a story of saw a lady in a store, and they had 6 gallons of milk. Something doesn't seem right here. Okay, I don't like milk though. I mean, it's fine. I keep maybe a half gallon every couple weeks, but I don't really drink milk. I do know people that drink milk, but maybe a gallon a week. But 6 gallons in one setting, that's a lot of milk. Heck, I keep powdered dry milk and the powdered whey milk. I think those are important things for preppers to keep up on. And Wise makes a lot of that powdered whey milk. And you can just get powdered dry milk at the store. I use it in bread. So I always have that on hand as well. And it lasts forever. But in a pinch, I've had to make a little bit of milk for something, just when I was too lazy to go to the store. So you got to be cognizant of what you're buying too. The stores are not empty. They look empty because you keep buying all the stuff. So again, please don't panic. The trucks are still running. If you're a trucker, man, get a job, all right? They need you. Distribution centers, Amazon, all these places, they need people. There are jobs out there. They need people for sure. So I guess I'll kind of I'll try and get off of this. You know, it's just been some stuff that's been bubbling in my mind. Be vigilant. Don't panic. Wash your hands. Okay? Stick to the, whatever the heck they're calling it, social distancing. Who came up with that term? I guess I just didn't want to say the word quarantine. Self-quarantine. So socially distance yourself, but, you know, keep healthy. Get your hobbies going. I've been playing guitar. I've been editing videos, working out. Do it. Growing a beard. Well, sort of. Just letting it, just not cutting it. Heck, I might have long hair before too long. I didn't get a haircut before all this stuff, and they're closed in my state. A lot of stuff is. But anyway, you'll be okay. We'll all be okay. We're all in together, and we'll all be okay. I have zero issue with saying that. I totally believe it. So anyway, let's move on to some other stuff that are that's less depressing. I actually wanted to call it up here maybe. I was looking at some statistics, and I want to say we are very, very close to hitting 750,000 views. Let's see what that is right now. 719,253 lifetime views. So we're trucking pretty good. I seem to remember not too long ago that we were at hit that 500,000. So that's pretty cool. That's very cool. I love seeing that. I love seeing the growth of the channel. You know, we're 3,200 subscribers, which again is more than I ever thought would be on this channel. So it's really neat to see. I'm very happy that you guys watch these videos, take something out of them. I'm getting new commenters all the time. I'm seeing a lot of return commenters, and again, it's very cool. I like it a lot. So thank you guys very much for sticking with me, and hopefully we can continue to grow. Let's see. So I also have some stuff here. I figured we'd show a couple of things that are going to be coming up in videos in the future. First Strike Ration. This one was a Menu 7. The reason I bought it was because it had this beef nacho sandwich in it, which is a Bridgeford product. I don't remember if I've had that. Now I've had several, and I have a playlist for an old playlist for Bridgeford sandwiches. So I did all that I could get my hands on at the time, but this one might be one I haven't had. It also has the sweet and spicy tuna on the back there. So I'm interested to get into this. 24-hour rations are hard for me though. I'm one of those people that are like an all or nothing kind of person. So sometimes I just have to, like, I want to get it done, but I don't want to eat all this stuff in one day, but I want to get it done. So anyway, I will get that done as soon as I can. I got this, so it's I guess a 12-hour French ration. I have a 24-hour French ration and a 24-hour Russian ration that I haven't gotten into yet, but I will. So this is a 12. I guess they say it's a 12-hour. So it's just a couple of things. So it has like an entree, a side, some sort of dessert, like a bar, like 2 bars or something, and then some biscuits. So I'll be interested to get the French are usually so good. And I guess I'll talk about this a little bit now. So internationals, I am not good at keeping up with things. I'm really not. Old Smokey, dude, Old Smokey has a TV show that's going to be coming out. Can you believe that? I remember meeting him a couple times. Like the first time I met him, great dude, really hit it off. Awesome channel, very informative. And now he's got a television show on the History Channel. And I think in his last live stream, he talked about when the time was. I don't remember, sorry, but I'll definitely want to set up the DVR so that I can watch that because I'm excited. I think it'll be really neat. Good guy. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. But then I guess my point was before I did that, I wasn't keeping up with foreignmre.com stuff either. Maybe a month or two ago, I did go on their site to see about getting some stuff. I've ordered multiple orders off of them. You know that. You've seen me talk about them and everything. Well, they were pretty bare. And then I looked back and I was like, oh, they've been having customs issues. So, like and customs being not their fault, but or the Art and Nina's, because they're great people, but customs like physically going into their shipments, their orders, and like taking stuff out. And this happens. It's happened in the past. The pendulum swings. Now it's just customs doing this garbage. The two most recent US MREs, I joked about it in the videos. They were both manufactured in Cincinnati, which is, down south for me, Southern Ohio. And then went to Lithuania and then back to me. So those sat in customs in Chicago for, I don't know, it wasn't that long, maybe 3-4 days. And they were unmolested, nothing wrong. But foreignmre.com, when they started, that was the shtick, foreign MREs, foreign rations. And I was like, man, this is so cool. It's a great site, great people running it. Just really want them to do well. So I wanted to support them by buying and talking about them. But it's hard. It's hard when U.S. Customs has kind of got it in for you. So hopefully some things change. Hopefully the pendulum swings back. But even eBay's pretty bare. I was lucky to get the Canadian IMP that I got, and I don't remember what that one was, but I posted it a couple weeks ago, and then this French one. I felt uniquely happy about that. It was just some guy in the U.S. just wanted to get rid of his stuff. So I will continue to try and get foreign stuff if I can, but I can't guarantee it. I really can't. So what else do we got? You know what? I want to make a special mention now that I think about it. Let me actually look up this person's channel before I yak, because I really want to get it right. I'm is this one? Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay. There was a viewer, unfortunately, who passed a few months ago, about 6 months ago. I heard about this maybe 2 months ago, so I was very late. I actually got to thinking about it, and I was like, man, I wonder where this guy was, because he was normally a commenter on a lot of people's stuff, and people pop into my mind all the time. Some of you guys out there, you might not think maybe I even know you're there, but I do, and I remember. And there are folks that have been here from the start, and there are folks that have been here maybe not from the start, but that have commented on everything. So the channel, and I don't remember exactly what he called it before this, but it was Paulie's Hobbies and Things. Paulie and me had talked a little bit back and forth in the past, and I was happy to watch some of his videos from time to time, because he was so happy when he was doing them. And he would comment on everybody else's videos, and it kind of hit me in an odd way, because I didn't know him personally. Like, I've never met him. I mean, he's British, or he was British. He lived in England, and we had talked about trading back and forth a couple things, because I think he was gonna look at sending me some real good tea, British tea, and then I was gonna send him back a few things as well. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and because I'm horrible at remembering things, or like following up and so forth in some aspects, I missed it. And I looked at his channel, and his brother had posted some 2 videos, just explaining the situation. I missed the guy. He was a good guy, very nice, and Godspeed, my friend. But I did want to mention that. I'm sure quite a few of you who are around, because a lot of you who watch these and comment are folks that watch everyone. So really sorry to hear about that. And I'm sorry I'm so late as well. But better late than never, I guess. So anyway, let's turn to a couple of other new things. Another thing, and I do have some orders out for a couple other things. I don't know if I'm going to get them, but we also have some products from Greenbelly. I started hearing about these on Backpacker Radio, which is just a podcast I listen to. And they talked a lot about these. I think Zach, who's on there, who also runs the Trek website, used these on one of his long hikes. I guess maybe the PCT, and I think the co-host Chance, who actually has a book out, a new book, and I can't remember what it's called. I'm really bad. I actually ordered it so that I could listen to it. But she's hiked the Appalachian Trail. I think she did the Colorado, and I know that she piecemealed the Pacific Crest Trail, the PCT as well. So they're very experienced hikers, and they get a lot of guests. So really enjoy listening to them. But they've been talking a lot about these green belly meals, and so I've got let's see here. What are these? This is peanut and apricot. I'm not a huge fan of apricots, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Mango, cashew, and coconut. Slam it on the table. Mango, cashew, and coconut. Let's see here. Dark chocolate, banana. That'll probably be my favorite. And then cranberry almond, which also might be pretty darn good. So these are 1/3 of your daily nutrition. So very high pack bars. Let's see. 1 bar. Okay, so it does have, this is for 2 bars. So both bars in here is 2 bars, 643 calories a piece. Now that would be 1/3 of your nutrition on a typical calorie count. But if you're actually hiking, you'd probably want to eat more than just 3 packages of these, honestly. Because the more you exercise, the more calories you do, and if you're sitting around walking for the whole day, you're going to burn a lot of calories, which is why you see so many hikers. They start off really well, and then you sort of see them if you watch their videos. Because I've watched quite a few, like ACT. I'm not taking the ACTs. But the AT videos or PCT or Colorado Trail videos, you see them it's like, okay, so they start normal, and then they look super fit at a point, and then they start to look a little bit gaunt towards the end. This is actually something that's stirring another thought into mind, and it kind of ties in. So recently I've had some comments about, well, not just recently, it's been a while, about like, don't worry about the taste. You're just supposed to put it in your mouth, or, why are you eating it like that individually? You're supposed to throw it all together. So again, like, my videos are structured in a way to be informative to you, individual taste. Cause like, if you don't like something, you won't eat it. Okay. I want to make that very clear. Most people don't eat for just sustenance. That's just not how we're built. We have taste buds for a reason. Now, there's some people that do. I know people that do, but if you don't like chicken curry and all you're fed is chicken curry for the rest of your life, there's the possibility that you might stop eating it, and then you just starve. There are folks that do these long trail hikes where, they're eating nor pastacized, they're eating instant mashed potatoes, they're eating kind of junk, honestly, but it's lightweight and it's easy. And eventually they get tired of it. And they lose weight because they're not adequately replacing the calories that they're burning, okay? And this kind of happened with some of the MRE Nation menus. And no offense to MRE Nation, I don't have a problem with them, but I'm going to be honest in my videos, and I was just disappointed with some of their mains, okay? I can only be as positive as I feel at the time, and I'm not going to sugarcoat things. And, I did have a message from somebody who's, a longtime viewer, and you just don't seem happy when you're doing these, maybe point out the positives and so forth. It's like, I can only review a certain way. I can only do it the one way I know how to do it, and I can't do it any other way because it just wouldn't feel authentic to me. So I do appreciate the message, and I appreciate folks who point these sort of things out, because I do want you to enjoy the content, but I can't necessarily always take it under advisement because I can't change the way I do things. So again, if I'm disappointed in a menu, I'm going to tell you, because what happens if you buy an entire thing of, say, I don't know, chicken and noodle, and I say, chicken noodles sucked. And, you're like, well, I don't, whatever. You just got to eat it. Well, if you also don't like chicken noodle and you just buy cases and cases and that's all you're eating, eventually you're going to get sick of it. So again, I'm trying to just give you my honest opinion so that you can purchase things on your own recognizance. So I just want to add information to the mix because that's how I operate. I'm a person who just wants to assimilate all this information and then spit it back out. So, and make good decisions. So anyway, let's move on from my rambles. Let's see here. So I did have one of the other new look, jeez, I can't talk, new look Mountain House rations, and I have another one. That one was, I haven't posted that yet. No, okay, I just edited that one. So I do have one that I think that might go up this coming Saturday. I'll see what the rotation's looking like. But that was chicken and mashed potatoes. This one is the fusilli pasta with Italian sausage. And again, this is the new look bag that they have. So we'll see if that's any good. I do have some of the old look bags. I went ahead and got a couple of these. I did these on the now defunct channel that I tried to do with my brother, and we just didn't have time. So I'm going to go back through some of these. So we've got, which way is the camera? Just kidding. So we've got, nope, there we go. So that's lasagna. We've got, let's see, we've got beef stew. That's it for Mountain House, looks like for now. What do we got here? I've got a lot of Alpine Air. Let's see, what is this one? Oh, chocolate mudslide. I got that at Cabela's. I thought that might be interesting. The Bandito Scramble. That's another one I got recently. That one should be good. I usually do like breakfast rations. Leonardo da Fettuccine. So that one might be interesting. You know, somebody pointed out in the last video, I said extracurricular peppers. Because like things like Alpine Air and Backpackers Pantry always put in peppers for no reason. So I call them extracurricular peppers. I'm like, I kind of want to put that on a t-shirt just for myself though. But I think that this one, this fettuccine, let's see. No, it looks like they're putting broccoli and mushrooms in it, but this would be one they would put those extracurricular peppers. So I love that somebody else thought that was funny because I thought it was funny to myself. I also have mountain chili. I do love chili. I haven't really found a great freeze-dried chili yet, though. This ration has a story. So this is one of the Peak Refuel. Oh, can't see me. Peak Refuel. And I haven't bought these because they're not cheap, but beef pasta marinara. So I do have one of these, and I have a kind of a funny story. So when I was sick in the beginning of February, like, oh, God, that was a terrible illness. I don't know what it was. I mean, flu or something, maybe. Hopefully it wasn't the big C, but who's to know? I mean, who's honestly to know? But yeah, it was terrible. And my mom actually came down to check on me and, make me drink fluids and stuff. I had a bunch of things ordered. And like literally they were just kind of on the porch. I think she brought most of them in just to throw on the table. And so I finally got to feeling better and I went through them all. And I looked at this and this was on the table. And I looked at it and I was like, did I order this? I don't remember ordering this. And I didn't. My mom bought it for me and just put it on the table. So it was just so strange. I was like, what is this? I know I wouldn't have bought this because they're not cheap, and I just, I didn't feel like it. Unless they had like some really exotic flavor, I would have spent the money, but like if it's just a normal flavor, I'm probably not going to do it. Unless I'm like just really itching for something new. But anyway, so she got that for me, so we'll be doing that as well. I think I showed a few of these already in maybe another video, but I have these Patagonia provisions, organic black bean soup, and spicy red bean chili. And there's a possibility that I might be getting a couple more of these products because they have some interesting stuff in their catalog. So I'll let you know. Obviously, you'll see videos of it. And I might be doing some more update videos here, but oh my goodness, I've been rambling for 40 minutes. Wow, that's That's interesting. Well, anyway, I think I'm probably going to wrap this up now. So we're not too long. Hopefully you guys, kind of enjoyed a little bit of a talk. Again, I know times are crazy, but I'm obviously here. I'll still be putting out videos. I've got a lot of stuff in the bank just waiting to be posted. So try and give you a little bit of entertainment here and there. And if you have anything that you'd like to see, let me know. I do have some other plans on some things that I'm possibly going to be putting out for some kind of like basic necessity type of things in times like these that you should know. So I'll talk a little bit about that later if I can work it into the normal schedule. But anyway, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. So again, thank you very much for joining me. If you have any comments, just leave them down below. Let me know. Let me know how you're doing. I'd love to hear how you're doing. Check in. Just check in and let me know if you're doing all right. Again, I know that there's been some natural disaster stuff. There was tornadoes in Tennessee and the Nashville area, and some other stuff going on. We had some really bad storms here. There's been some decent flooding in a couple of areas, which has caused some evacuations. So again, we all got to pull in together. All pulling together. Yeah, we're all in it. We're all in it with each other. So just be kind, wash your hands, and we'll catch you on down the road. See ya.